We are Pierre, Lisa, and our furry crew member Tiller. We are sailing around the world in our Outremer 5X catamaran, and we just sailed from Bora Bora to Vanuatu to rejoin the Outremer Gliwo Rally after spending a full year in French Polynesia. Please subscribe to join our adventures. And a big thank you to everyone who's already subscribed. We are now in the region of the South Pacific that Melanesian people populated, and we're currently in Vanuatu. In our last video, we visited some remote islands in Vanuatu. We caught 2 tuna, although a shark got half of one. Look at that! Oh my god, the shark got it first. We departed from the main rally group to go to a bay that would be good for wingboarding and kite surfing. And in this video, we're preparing to leave the anchorage to join the rally at Ambrym Island. The trip to Ambrym Island was really a fun sail because the rest of the rally had been in a different area of Makula Island. We had gone to the Mescaline Islands to do some water sports. I showed some of that in the last video. And so the rally boats were coming from this direction, we're coming from this direction. They had their spinnakers up and we were just on a beam reach. And it was a short sail and Pierre was like, oh, we'll never catch them up. But we really had a good wind angle and good wind, and it was just fun to come and converge with the rally. And you'll see us do that in this video. It was kind of fun. You know, Pierre's a racer. He likes to tweak the boat, make it go as efficiently as possible. And so when you have few waves and lots of wind for good sailing, that's always fun because you're not slamming into the waves. The following day we had a 3-kilometer hike to the site where the villagers were going to perform the yam dance. This ancient ritual is important to a community where yams play such an important role in their diet. Hello. It's a living hedge for keeping the cows in. We were welcomed with music as we waited for the site of the rituals to be prepared. Before entering the Nakemo, which is the traditional meeting place in Vanuatu, we were all given the gift of a flower to put behind our ear.
To show you that you are welcome in the ceremonial crown.
We were led into the ceremonial places and the dances began. They explained the different types of yams, and the ceremony was finished.
This one, great tool we use for other ceremonies.
After Ambrim, we left with Justin and Antoine on board, who are the photographers of the rally, and they took some shots of BioTrek, and they had their drone out, and they're fabulous with the drone. Unfortunately, I don't have any shots of BioTrek. You'll have to see it on the Outremer site. They like to save their videos and not have anyone else release them, so they didn't share any of their footage with me. But they really did get some nice shots of BioTrek, and when that gets released, I'm going to let you know in one of my other videos. As we arrived in Pentecost Island, we could see the tower that had been constructed for the land diving as we sailed by. And of course, always a little bit of maintenance. There's Pierre doing some generator maintenance. We have come through that has arrived. We're putting the sails away. The following day we went to shore to see the land diving. The tower had been constructed right in front of the anchorage, so we just had a short walk up the hill to see the event. Here comes the man in charge of construction of the tower and making sure the vines are the right length. They don't measure them, he does it by eye. Here they're softening the ground under the platform, and this woman's explaining that there were 10 platforms on the tower. We can't see them well because they're hidden with the vines. The custom of lamb diving is only done on Pentecost Island. It's a ritual that's done to appease the gods before the yam harvest, and the vines are of appropriate dryness to jump just about the time of the yam harvest. As the first divers prepare to jump, the chanting and singing begins. The less experienced divers start on the lower platform, and children as young as 8 may begin to dive. These first dives went well, but as the platform got higher, there were some injuries. Or it looked like they were injured, but they pretended not to be.
There is his prayer, just about to go now. There it goes.
That cracking sound is the diving platform breaking, which is part of the mechanism to break the fall.
He didn't jump far enough, so he hit right in the earth with his head.
But they have to pretend they're not hurt.
So usually they start to fall off when they're about 45 degrees, then they kick with their legs so that they end up further down. But
They jump from the top, they must jump out to avoid being impaled by the lower structures.
go.
Before we left Pentecost Island, we had a dinner on Pump 3, and then we sailed to Luganville in Santo, where we anchored right in town. So after we were in Pentecost Island, we headed over to Luganville, which is the main town here in Santo. It's great provisioning, but we went there and stayed right in town, mainly to pick up Luma, who's our new crew from the Philippines. Now, Luma sailed with us many years ago when we did our first round the world, and we met her in the Philippines. She was working on a charter boat, and she sailed, I think, for 4 months, all the way from through the Philippines, across Borneo to Borneo, Singapore, up to Malaysia and into Thailand. And so we really had a fun time together, and I've always kept in contact with her. And so when I told her we were coming closer to where she lives, she said she really wanted to jump on board. She had a bit of trouble getting a transit visa in Australia, and so she missed her flight to Port Vila. And I told her as we went through those small islands, it was going to be really too difficult to join BioTrack, so she'd have to wait to Santo. So she was hanging out in Singapore until we got to Santo, and she finally got her transit visa and was able to get through Australia, which is really the only way to get here to Vanuatu, is to come through Australia. And we picked her up, and here's a picture of her as she arrived. She's just fabulous to be on board because she just loves helping out with everything, and fun personality, and it's really fun to see Luma again. And you'll be seeing her, more and more of her in our videos. So we're just leaving Pentecost Island where we saw the land diving. And we're heading up here to Espiritu Santo. Found out that our crew Luma was able to board her flight tonight. She's had some visa problems holding a Philippine passport. She has to travel through Australia, but she got on her flight, so I guess she's going to be arriving hopefully in Port Vila tomorrow. So we're just arriving after a pretty uneventful sail, and we've decided to go right into Luganville. The rally is going further north, but that way we can do some shopping, and we'll be closer for picking up Luma tomorrow morning when she arrives. We're still going to Knots. After we picked up Luma, we had a quick trip to the market. Yep, those are bats. And then we headed off to Turtle Bay to join the rest of the rally. Luma's making lunch. Tilbur's chilling out. She also brought us good luck because we caught this fish less than 2 minutes after we threw the line in. Just coming in to Turtle Bay. In our next video, we'll enjoy some of the reefs around Santo Island, and we'll be traveling with some of the rally boats and getting groceries in preparation for leaving for Indonesia. We make these videos to share our enjoyment of our ocean world with you. We'd really appreciate it if you'd subscribe and give us a like. We support the Alliance to Cure, which is a foundation working to cure cerebral cavernous malformation. If you like this video, please consider a donation, and 100% of the funds given through the BioTrack Selling website go to the foundation. And if you live in the US, the donations are tax deductible. And you can see more videos about Vanuatu if you just click here. And some of our more popular videos are right here.